Hello, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome back to English Made Easy. This is the place where we try to make learning English feel less like a classroom and more like a conversation with a friend. Our mission, as always, is to help you study this beautiful, sometimes crazy, language in the simplest way possible. Today, we're talking about something that I think almost everyone feels a little nervous about: the job interview. And we're going to tackle a really big idea. The hook for today's video is it's not just about answering questions, it's about owning the room. We're going to walk through how you can go from feeling like a nervous student taking a test to a confident professional having the conversation. Along the way, we're going to learn some powerful new words. These aren't just vocabulary to memorize for an exam. These are words that describe qualities that employers are desperately looking for. They are words that will help you understand the secret language of the professional world. I promise you, by the end of our time together, you'll understand exactly what these words mean, how to say them, and most importantly, how to show them in your real life. You'll know when to use them and how to apply them, not just in an interview, but in your daily work and conversations. And as we go, I want you to do something from me. When we learn the new word, I'm going to say it slowly. I want you to say it with me. Even if you're on a bus or in a quiet room, just whisper it to yourself. Say it after me. It's a small action, but it connects the sound of the word to your mind. I'll be speaking with a natural rhythm, just like a native speaker would, so you can get used to the flow of the language. Ready? Let's begin. So, you've sent out your resume, your CV, and you got the email. An interview. Your heart does a little jump, right? A mix of excitement and, let's be honest, a little bit of fear. You start thinking about all the questions they might ask. Tell me about yourself. What's your greatest weakness? It's easy to get lost in preparing perfect answers for these questions. But what if I told you that the interview starts long before you ever walk into that room or join that video call? What we're talking about first is what I call the silent interview, your deep research. This is more than just a quick look at the company's website 5 minutes before the interview. So many people do that. They learn the company's name, what they sell, and maybe the CEO's name. That's not enough. Deep research is about understanding the company's soul. Why does this company even exist? What problem are they trying to solve in the world? This isn't just a task to check off a list. It's the foundation of your confidence. The whole idea behind this is to change your mindset. You are not just a person asking for a job. You are a professional looking to see if this company is a good fit for you. When you do deep research, you show respect. You show that you are serious. You're not just looking for any job. You're interested in this job at this company. It moves you from being a stranger to being an insider, someone who already understands them. So, how do you do it? Let's break it down step by step. Your preparation starts with their About Us page and their mission statement. Don't just read the words. Ask yourself, what do they really mean? If a company says its mission is to innovate for a sustainable future, what does that actually look like? Then you become a detective. Go to the news or press section of their website. What have they been doing for the last 6 months? Did they launch a new product? Did they win an award? Did they expand to a new country? Knowing this shows you're interested in their present, not just their past. Next, you need to understand their world. Who are their biggest competitors? Look them up. How is your target company different? Are they the expensive, high-quality option? Are they the cheap, fast option? Understanding their position in the market is a huge advantage. Now for a really important step. You need to look for the human side of the company. Go to websites like LinkedIn or Glassdoor.
What do current or former employees say about working there? Read the reviews. Are they happy? What do they complain about? This gives you a secret look inside the culture. And finally, if you know who is going to interview you, look them up on LinkedIn. What is their job title? How long have they worked at the company? Did they write any articles or share any interesting posts? You're not trying to be a stalker here. You're just trying to understand the person you're about to have a conversation with. Let's look at an example. Imagine the interviewer asks, "So, why do you want to work here?" Here's a bad, unprepared answer. I want to work here because you are a very big and successful company, and I think I can learn a lot. It's not a terrible answer, but it's generic. It's boring. You could say that about hundreds of companies. It shows zero research. Now, let's look at an answer that is built on deep research. Well, I was really drawn to your company's mission, especially after I read about your recent Green Future initiative. I saw the press release from last month about your commitment to using 100% recyclable materials by 2025. My previous experience in supply chain management was focused on reducing waste, and I believe my skills could directly help you achieve that goal. I was also very impressed by an article your head of operations, Miss Jane Doe, wrote on LinkedIn about sustainable logistics. It really aligns with my own professional values. Do you feel the difference? The second answer is alive. It's specific. It's not just about what you want, it's about what they are doing and how you can help them. It shows you've done your homework. This level of preparation is the first and clearest sign of your professionalism. Let's pause here for that word, professionalism. It's a big word, but the meaning is simple. Professionalism just means the high standard of behavior and work you expect from a person who is trained and skilled in a particular job. It's about being serious, respectful, and reliable. Let's say it together. Professionalism. The stress is on the second syllable, fe. Professionalism. Say it with me, even just a whisper. Professionalism. A simple way to think of it is being businesslike. It's like being a serious expert. Other words that are similar are expertise or seriousness. The opposite might be amateurism or casualness. In an interview, showing professionalism is non-negotiable. Your deep research is your first demonstration of it. Now, what are the real strengths of doing all this work? The biggest advantage is confidence. When you know a lot about them, you feel less like you're in an exam and more like you're a consultant, there to discuss how you can solve their problems. You can ask much better questions at the end of the interview. Instead of, "What is a typical day like?" You can ask, "I saw that you launched product X 3 months ago. What have been the biggest challenges with its rollout and how does this role support its success?" See? It's a game changer. Of course, there are challenges. The biggest limitation is that it takes time. This isn't something you can do in 10 minutes. You might need a few hours for each company you're serious about. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming. There's so much information. So here's a tip for success. Don't just read. Take notes. Create a one-page summary for each company. On that page, write down their mission, 3 recent pieces of good news, their main competitors, 1 interesting fact about their culture, and 1 interesting fact about your interviewer. You're not trying to be a stalker here. You're just trying to understand the person you're about to have a conversation with. Review that single page right before your interview. It will all be fresh in your mind. This deep research is what sets you apart. It's the silent work you do that shouts your seriousness and your professionalism before you even say a single word. It's the key that unlocks a real, meaningful conversation. But all this knowledge, all this research, it's useless if you can't connect it to your own life, to your own experiences. The interviewer knows about their company. Now they need to know about you. And they will ask questions like, "Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a difficult customer," or Describe a project you are proud of. This is where many people panic. They start talking, but their story is messy. It goes everywhere and nowhere. They forget the important details. They don't have a clear point. This is where you need a powerful tool. It's a storytelling framework called the STAR method. It's time to learn how to turn your experience into a story. The STAR method. The purpose of the STAR method is to give your answers a clear, simple structure. It stops you from rambling and makes sure you give the interviewer exactly the information they need. It's a way to prove your skills with evidence, not just with claims. STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. The idea behind it is that past behavior predicts future behavior. If you can show the interviewer that you have successfully handled a certain situation in the past, they will believe that you can do it again in the future at their company. You're not just saying, I am a good problem solver. You are telling a story that proves you are a good problem solver. Let's break down how it works step by step. The preparation for this happens before the interview. You need to think about your past experiences, from previous jobs, from university, even from volunteer work. You should prepare 5 or 6 strong stories that show your best qualities. Think about times you showed leadership, teamwork, problem solving, or creativity. For each story, you will structure it using STAR. The introduction to your answer starts with S for situation. You need to briefly describe the context. Where were you working? What was the project? You paint a quick picture for the listener. Keep this part short and simple, just the essential background information. Then comes T for task. What was your specific responsibility in this situation? What was the goal you were given? What problem did you need to solve? This clarifies your role in the story. The most important part is A for action. What did you specifically do? This is where you need to use I statements, not we. I decided to, I organized a meeting, I analyzed the data. You need to describe the steps you took. This is the heart of your story. And finally, R for result. What was the outcome of your actions? What happened in the end? This is your chance to show the impact you made. And if you can, use numbers. Numbers are powerful. We increased sales by 15%. We reduced customer complaints by 30%. I finished the project 2 days ahead of schedule. The result is the proof that your actions were successful. Let's see it in practice. Imagine the interviewer asks, tell me about a time you worked under pressure to meet a deadline. Here is a bad, non-STAR answer. Yeah, in my last job, we were always under pressure. There was this one project that was really crazy. We all had to work really late, and it was super stressful, but we got it done in the end. It was tough, but a good experience. This answer is terrible. It's vague. It doesn't say what the project was, what the person actually did, or what the result was. It shows nothing. Now, let's see a powerful answer using the STAR method. S, situation. In my previous role as a marketing assistant, my team was responsible for launching a major social media campaign for a new product. Just 1 week before the launch date, our main graphic designer suddenly had to take a medical leave. T, task. My task was to ensure all the visual assets, over 50 images and 10 short videos, were created, approved, and scheduled for launch on time, without the help of our lead designer. The deadline was firm. We couldn't delay the product launch. A, action. First, I immediately organized a quick 15-minute meeting with my manager to reassess our priorities. I proposed a simplified design concept that could be created more quickly, but still looked professional. Then I took the initiative to learn a new design software over one evening using online tutorials. I worked an extra 2 hours each day to create all the essential graphics myself. I also coordinated with the freelance video editor to make small adjustments to the existing videos, saving us time. R, result. As a result, I was able to deliver all the required assets 24 hours before the deadline. The campaign launched on schedule and was very successful, leading to a 20% increase in website traffic in the first week. My manager praised my initiative, and it actually led to me being given more design responsibilities in the future. Can you feel the power in that second answer? It is a complete story. It is filled with evidence. It doesn't just say, I work well under pressure. It proves it in detail. This is how you demonstrate your competence. Look at this word, competence. It's a beautiful and strong word.
Competence simply means having the skill, knowledge, and ability to do something well. It's the quality of being capable. Let's practice the pronunciation. Com-pe-tense. The stress is on the first syllable. Competence. Com-pe-tense. Or competence. Say it with me. Competence. A synonym you might know is skill or ability. If you have competence, you are capable. The opposite would be incompetence or inability. The STAR method is the single best tool you have to prove your competence in an interview. The great advantage of the STAR method is that it makes you sound organized, logical, and results-oriented. It gives the interviewer a clear and memorable story. It works for almost any question that starts with, "Tell me about a time when..." But there is a challenge. If you don't practice, your STAR answers can sound robotic, like you are reading from a script. You might sound like you memorized it. This is a real danger. So, the most important tip for success is this. Prepare your stories, but don't memorize them word for word. Memorize the 4 bullet points: the situation, your task, the actions you took, and the final result. Then, when you tell the story in the interview, you can tell it naturally, like you're having a conversation. Let's think about another quality. Sometimes things don't go as planned. A project changes, a client gets angry, a pandemic shuts down the world. Employers want to know if you can handle change. They might ask, "Tell me about a time when a project's goals changed suddenly. How did you react?" This question is a test of your adaptability. Let's take a moment for this word, adaptability. It's a long one, but it's so important. Adaptability is the quality of being able to change or be changed in order to deal successfully with a new situation. It means you are flexible and can handle surprises without panicking. Let's say it. Adaptability. The stress is on the bil syllable. Adaptability. Or adaptability. It's a mouthful, I know. Try it slowly. Adaptability. Or adaptability. A good synonym is flexibility or versatility. If you have adaptability, you are flexible. The opposite might be rigidity or being inflexible. You can use the STAR method to show your adaptability too. You would tell a story where the situation or task suddenly changed and your actions show how you adjusted and still got a good result. You show that you don't break when things change. You bend. So the STAR method isn't just a script you follow. It is a powerful framework that allows you to present the very best evidence of your competence and your adaptability, turning your past experiences into compelling proof of your future potential. You have done your research, you have prepared your stories, you walk into the room and you are ready. You know your stuff. But there is one more element, and it is perhaps the most important one of all. It's the magic ingredient that makes the interviewer not just respect your skills, but actually like you. It's the part that builds a human connection. We need to talk about the real you.
Why authenticity wins. The purpose of showing authenticity is to prove that you are a real person, not a robot that has memorized all the right answers. Employers don't just hire a set of skills. They hire a person. They hire someone they will have to work with every day, someone who will be part of their team. They want to see your personality. The idea behind this is that trust is the foundation of any good working relationship, and the fastest way to build trust is to be genuine. If you are pretending to be someone you're not, people can often feel it. It creates a strange distance. Being authentic means being yourself, but of course, the most professional version of yourself. So, what does this look like in practice? How can you be authentic? First, it means you have to listen. An interview is a two-way conversation, not a performance. When the interviewer is speaking, listen carefully. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Show you are engaged by nodding, making eye contact, and responding to what they actually said. Next, it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to be a little nervous. In fact, showing a little bit of nervousness can make you seem more human and relatable. If you don't know the answer to a question, it is much better to be honest than to make something up. You can say, "That's a great question. I don't have direct experience with that specific software, but I am a very fast learner. For example, in my last role, I had to learn something new quickly." This shows honesty and problem solving at the same time. It also means letting your personality show. If you have a sense of humor, it's okay to smile or make a light, appropriate joke if the moment feels right. It's about sharing your passions. When you talk about a project you genuinely loved, let that excitement come through in your voice. Your energy is contagious. And finally, authentic people ask thoughtful questions. At the end of the interview, when they ask, "Do you have any questions for us?" This is your golden opportunity. Your research helps here, but it's also about genuine curiosity. Ask about the team culture, the biggest challenges the team is facing, or what success looks like in that role. This shows you are seriously thinking about what it would be like to work there. This leads us to our final and perhaps most important vocabulary word for today: authenticity. Authenticity is the quality of being real or genuine. It means you are not a copy. You are true to your own personality and character. Let's pronounce it together. Authenticity. The stress falls on the tick syllable. Authenticity. Authenticity. Let's try it one more time. Authenticity. Authenticity. Synonyms could be genuineness, realness, or sincerity. It's about being true. The opposite would be fakeness or being artificial. Let's imagine a scenario to see the difference. The interviewer asks, "What is your greatest weakness?" Here is the classic, rehearsed, inauthentic answer. "My greatest weakness is that I'm a perfectionist. I just work too hard sometimes and care too much about getting every little detail right." Almost every interviewer has heard this answer a million times. It sounds fake. It's a dishonest answer that is trying to look like a strength. Now let's see an authentic answer. It's honest, but it also shows self-awareness and a desire to improve. Something I have been actively working on is public speaking. In the past, I used to feel quite nervous presenting to large groups, and I noticed my voice could be a bit shaky. However, I knew this was an important skill, so I joined a local public speaking club and have been practicing regularly. I've already seen a huge improvement in my confidence, and I actually presented at our last team-wide meeting, which went really well. I know I still have room to grow, but I'm committed to improving. This second answer is so much better. it's honest, it's real. It identifies a real weakness, but it doesn't stop there. It shows that the person is self-aware, proactive, and dedicated to personal growth. That is incredibly impressive. That is authenticity. The advantage of being authentic is that it builds a real connection, a rapport with the interviewer. It makes you memorable. They might interview 10 people with similar skills, but they will remember the person they felt a connection with. The challenge, of course, is finding the right balance. Authenticity does not mean you can be unprofessional. You don't want to be too casual or overshare personal information. So, a simple tip for success is to think of it like this. Be yourself, but be your first date self. You're polite, you're positive, you're respectful, and you're trying to show the best version of who you are. But it is still you. When you combine deep research, structured storytelling, and genuine authenticity, you are no longer just a candidate answering questions. You're a complete package. You are a competent professional who has done their homework, who can prove their value, and who is a real person that someone would want to work with. So after all of this, after we've talked about showing your professionalism, proving your competence, and being your authentic self, it brings up a big question, a question that many people wonder about. What do employers really value more? Is it the hard skills, the technical abilities, the perfect resume, or is it the personality, the attitude, the person behind the paper? You might have a candidate with 10 years of perfect experience, someone whose competence is off the charts. They can do the job in their sleep. But in the interview, they're arrogant, or they're boring, or they just don't seem like they would be a good team member. Then you have another candidate. Maybe they only have 5 years of experience. Maybe they're missing 1 or 2 of the desired skills on the job description, but they are full of passion. Their authenticity shines through. They show adaptability in their stories, they are curious, they are kind, and you just get a good feeling about them. You feel like they would make the whole team better. Who gets the job? The truth is, it's not a simple choice between one or the other. It's about how they fit together. Your skills and your competence are what get you the interview. They are the ticket you need to even enter the game. Without them, your resume is probably never seen. But once you are in that room, once you are having that conversation, the personality is what gets you the job offer. Think about it. Most companies believe they can teach you a new skill. They can send you on a training course to learn a new piece of software. That's the easy part. But they can't teach you to be curious. They can't teach you to have a positive attitude. They can't teach you to be a good person to be around when the pressure is high. Your professionalism and competence are the foundation. They show you can do the job. But your adaptability and your authenticity show how you will do the job. Will you be a supportive teammate? Will you be someone who brings good energy to the office? Will you be a problem solver or a complainer? In the end, every hiring manager is asking themselves one silent question. Do I want to work with this person every single day for the next few years? Your personality answers that question. So, what do you think? Do employers value skill or personality more? Is it better to be the expert who is difficult to work with or the good team player who still has a few things to learn? Write your thoughts down in the comment section. I'd love to see what you believe, and so would everyone else in our community. The goal isn't just to get the job, it's to find the place where you no longer have to perform. Thank you so much for listening today. If you want to keep improving your English in a simple, natural way, make listening to our channel a part of your daily routine. It's the small, consistent habits that create the biggest results. Until next time.